Have you ever felt lost in a role that you're playing? What if I told you the roles you play are not who you are? Hi friends, I'm Ashley and I help spiritually minded, growth-oriented women to move from feeling stuck and overwhelmed to stepping confidently into a life of purpose, impact, and joy. Through practical steps rooted in deep inner work, I guide them toward lasting changes and transformation that supports both personal and community well-being. Today, let's dig in to what it means to be your true self versus the roles that we take on every day, and why it matters for living the life that God created for you. For a long time, I tried to define myself by a job title, as many of us do in the US. The trouble with that for me is that I am a very eclectic type of person that likes to do a lot of different things. So it was a little difficult for me to step into a specific job title role. Once I became a stepmom, I took a lot of ownership over my role. Looking back with the knowledge that I've gained and the experiences I've been through, I know that I shouldn't have taken on all that I did, but I didn't know during those years, so I did the best that I could. Through life's ups and downs and changes throughout the years, I was finally able to embrace my true identity as the daughter of the Most High King in 2023. I feel rather silly that it took me so long because I've been a follower of Jesus Christ for 30 years, but God knew what he was doing. And I'm so grateful that he enabled me to finally understand and really believe at a heart level that I am his daughter and that I can find my worth in what he says about me and not what other people say. The journey of stepping back into my authentic self was tough, but it was transformational. So today, I'll walk you through the difference between your authentic self and your role self, why we slip into these roles, and how we can break free. To live as your true self is to lean into the unique qualities that God instilled in you, free from the roles, the comparisons to others, or the expectations that other people have placed on you. It's your core essence beyond titles, and it's connected to your divine purpose. The role self is a version of ourselves that we create in response to responsibilities we have, expectations, or identities that we think we need to carry. They're masks that we wear throughout our life. Some roles that you may find yourself playing are things like the perfect mom or the dutiful daughter, the strong friend, things like that. They often overshadow our core identity. We identify ourselves with these attributes that aren't actually ourselves, but just things that we might be experiencing or things that we might do, not be. We live in a society that encourages us to identify ourselves by what we do. Think about how often it is that we meet someone and one of the first questions that either they ask or we ask are, "So, what do you do?" If we're living in our role selves, there's often tension with our authentic selves. If you're unsure if you've been living in a role self, consider if you feel disconnected, overwhelmed, exhausted, resentful towards someone, maybe lacking direction or feeling unfulfilled, or maybe even at a loss as to who you even are. There are many reasons why we can lose touch with our authentic selves. One is societal expectations. We can have family pressure, cultural influences. We can be fearful of judgment from others. And most of us fall into a comparison trap at some point in our lives that push us into more role-based identities instead of living into our authentic selves. I was wondering, what would happen if these roles were stripped away? What if you lose a child and you're no longer a mom? What if you lose your job and you're no longer XYZ? A lot of people can fall into depression. They can feel hopeless. They can go through an identity crisis. That's one of the downfalls of putting our identities into our roles and not into who God says we are. We can also fear disappointing others, of letting people down, and this can cause us to over-identify with our roles. And we can lose touch with what we want or what we need. A lot of moms do this. I fell into this trap. A lot of moms want better for their kids and they want to be seen as a good mom. So they can fill their lives with very, very busy schedules that revolve around their children. And in the process, they lose who they are and their identity. We also compare ourselves to others. Social media has been around long enough to know that we shouldn't be comparing our lives to what we see in our feed. Sometimes when we don't feel secure in who we are, we can lean heavily into roles that provide a sense of identity, but really leave us feeling empty. So now that we know what an authentic self versus a role self is, identified ways in how we can tell if we're living in authenticity or in a role, and reasons why we often disassociate from our authentic self over our life, here's some good news. There is a way to reconnect and rediscover your authentic self. First, spend some time with the one who created you. Pray and ask for clarity about who you are in him, because he knows best. And I would encourage you to reflect on some verses that remind you of your unique value. One of the verses I love is Psalm 139:14. It says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Awesome. Another great verse to meditate on is Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's masterpiece. He created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things that he planned for us long ago. Did you catch that? You are a masterpiece. Oh my gosh. Let that sink in and think about it. He planned you long ago, before the earth was created. He thought about you. He created you. You are amazing. Own that. I'd also invite you to give yourself permission to question the roles that you play in life. I want to encourage you to explore values and interests that light you up inside and bring joy apart from any title or role that you play. If you're not sure what your values are, I've linked some resources in the description below to help you start discovering that for yourself. Release comparison. Focus on your own personal growth and run your own race, not Judy's down the road. Compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Practice saying no. I know, it's scary. But setting boundaries that protects your time and allows you to connect with yourself and to invest in what truly resonates with yourself is powerful. This can be difficult and uncomfortable, and it challenges you to take care of yourself, which might not feel okay at this moment, but you can only give as much as you have. You have to be filled. Otherwise, you can't pour into others. Juggling roles can be very difficult, but integrating a small thing like creativity into your life once a month, it can do wonders for you, and it can get you back to who you actually are. I encourage you to step out of the roles that you're playing gradually. You can take small steps to reconnect with your true identity, like journaling or engaging in a creative project that speaks to your authentic desires. Maybe even try a weekly adventure outside of your comfort zone. If you're ready to start reconnecting with who you truly are and want to take action, check out my free resource in the description below. I list 5 simple habits that can bring balance and focus to your life. Focus on who you truly are and balancing that in a way that feels authentic to you every day. Your roles are what you do. They are not who you are. So let's start peeling back these roles and let's reconnect with the person that God created you to be. You were made unique on purpose. Do not let the world's expectations overshadow that. So remember, your roles don't define you, and here's your permission. You do not have to be everything to everyone. You only need to be who God created you to be.